Bonjour à tous! Anyone who says French is the original love language should really think more carefully about where the word romance comes from. But I digress. Like anyone surprised? Earlier today, a commenter on one of my older videos, How to Write a Realistic Love Story, suggested I make a follow-up unpacking the nature of love itself. And after a bit of thinking, I believe I can make that work in a way that won't violate my third channel rule about not digging into topics the entirety of the internet's already covered unless I can put a unique spin on them. In this case, I mean to answer the question in the video's title. What is love? What's it for? How is true romance different from friendship or lust? Well, I believe the answer is exactly what I said in that older video. Romance is what happens when two people who are friends decide they want to make babies together. But, as to the aforementioned commenter's point, there is a little bit more depth to this, which I mean to address at present. So why do humans love? Isn't it obvious? We are social animals, therefore necessitating a bonding mechanism to encourage mutually beneficial transactions between individuals. Or, to put it in slightly nicer terms, humans love things we find useful and people who benefit or gratify us in some meaningful way, whether in terms of reproduction, social validation, entertainment, practical utility, or whatever else floats your particular boat. We all know about the 7 kinds of love defined by the ancient Greeks. For those who don't know the specifics, very briefly they are: eros, sexual love; philia, friendly love; storge, familial love; agape, universal love; ludus, playful love; pragma, practical love; and philautia, self-love. Now, I would posit that these are all merely variant formulations on a singular nucleic atom whose 2 elemental particles are attachment and compassion, of whose spectrum of ratio potentialities the concept of love sprouts. Something you will no doubt have noted in the on-screen charts is the overall lopsided ratio of attachment, which is the selfish possessive component of love, to compassion, which is the selfless giving component. Why is this? Well, as I stated in my Why Our Systems Always Collapse video, each organism is on his or her own side first and foremost in nearly all situations. Now, of course, this chart does not take into account differences between the sexes in regard to our divergent mating strategies, wherein males tend to be far more sacrificial and carnal, while females are more beneficial and pragmatic. But that's a whole other topic in and of itself for another time. For right now, just remember that the above forms are not at all mutually exclusive. And of course, the chart is purely an illustrative rendition, not a scientific model. And for reasons I've covered at length in other videos, links to which you'll find in the description, love is neither the ultimate power in the universe nor the purely angelic boon our modern pop culture would have us believe it is. But still, without it, none of us would be here to ponder on it. So there's that. So in conclusion, love is an emotional investment we have in a thing or person which encourages dependence upon, and thus sacrifice for, concepts and goals beyond the scope of our immediate self-gratification. Also, before I go, I trust you all to be aware by now that I forgot to switch the voice back after I did the Kitty Mitty poem. But rather than redo the frontal third of the script, I decided to leave it as is and let you decide which one you like better. Leave your preferences below. It makes no real difference to me either way. Anyway, I think I've about worn out this subject's welcome. So long, and thanks for all the fun. Adieu.